Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're going to take a quick look here at ChainLink, see what's going on. I got some alerts that triggered this morning on this coin as a potential reality for something we might want to consider a long position with. So we're going to double check and not just FOMO into a trade because the market is tentatively green. We just want to make sure that we understand best practice big picture for a scenario like this, kind of give you some perspectives on things that I like to look for, and then also just, identify some back end potentially positive or negative potential, case scenarios there. What is positive? My trading bot's been killing it. You can see kind of here at this point that we are up a decent margin here, 315 so far for the last month and a half on auto trading, and this month $64 on only $50 per trade. So it may not seem like a lot, but it's definitely staying in the green and things are looking good there. And we took a nice solid short from Bitcoin day before yesterday, hit a good 56% there in 24 hours. So considering and more so leaning towards a long on Bitcoin, unfortunately we missed our entry at 87.5. That I sent out that trade alert earlier, and we're gonna have to take a look and see if it's worth taking along with some altcoins too here. But either way, 91 to 92,000 seems like a very distinct reality for Bitcoin, just based on its local liquidation area. And if you're not familiar with that, you can kind of see my playout chart here for Bitcoin. At this point, there's a lot of liquidation at between 91 and 92,000. Okay. So it's all available for you there. So overall, what we're going to look at is the backend data for ChainLink and kind of identify where these areas of interest are. Well, the truth is there's not a ton or massive accumulation of liquidation locally, but let's take a look at the last 3 days and kind of see if this might give a better perspective. We can see a little chunk between 1650 and 17, as well as a pretty big number at about 1765. So a good consideration for a take profit target would be between 1650 and 1750, based on that being a local liquidation range. There's not a lot of liquidation on the macro outside of $20. We're not going to be there for a little while, but generally speaking, the overall sentiment here is mostly positive. We can also see here with ChainLink that we are at break even on liquidation delta, which is great. We actually like to see that when you're considering shifting gears and taking either a long or a short, because it tells us we're at an impasse right now, and the likelihood of the price going in the direction it's heading right now is higher, and likely not going to be turning around anytime soon. Mainly because there's good momentum, Bitcoin likely to continue higher. Those are the reasons I say that. Taking a look here though, we can see a lot of open interest here locally, 1475, 1540. All that's below the price action. We have some resistance at 1730, 1740, but for the most part, we got more support below the price action based on open interest. And open interest is helpful because it helps us understand where people are averaging the most into their positions. Okay, so that's good. That shows us we have some support there. Let's take a quick look at the macro here. Something I wanted to identify too is that I think I remember the macro point of control being in that 1350 range. Let's double check that here in a minute. But just to clarify, we're still below all moving averages. We are under 50 in the RSI. Minus the MACD converging, there's not a lot here telling us that we're going to see like a breakout. So the thing you need to recognize is that all daily time frames are going to look like this on the majority of all altcoins. Okay, but what we want to look at is our macro point of control here. Just kind of quickly get gauge here of what's going on. We can kind of see here pretty significant amount of support here to the 1430, 1440 mark. Okay, so we're going to mark that on the charts just so you can kind of see it. And then what we're going to look at here is that local low. Look at how close that is. We haven't closed below 1440 yet. So that does imply that that is our solid bottom, not just with the macro point of control, but also locally too with the local support range. So that's awesome. Either way you look at it, daily time frame, not phenomenal, but that's par for the course right now. What we can see here, of course, however, on the 4-hour time frame is that we're above all moving averages concurrent with Bitcoin. We are also here as well, above 50 in the RSI, above our SMA there. Money flow index is good. Most MFIs are really, really low. Stochastic swinging up here. These are all some very, very positive signs. Generally speaking, we can see the hourly also confirming that we are above the cloud. Lagging spans free and clear and conversion lines of the baseline. These are all signs you want to look for when taking a long position. The thing we just got to recognize is that we may see some resistance here soon with the price action retesting that 1650 mark. A lot of times you'll see the price kind of come through, come back to retest, and then take off. So that's kind of what we look for. Ultimately, you want to look for a bullish backtest of that horizontal trend and or support level. So that's kind of where we're at there. Overall, things looking pretty good. Obviously, the macro is not phenomenal. We know that most coins are going to exude that same behavior, but smaller time frames, everything else is looking pretty solid here for this coin. Definitely a coin worth considering a position with. Just keep in mind, if you're going to secure some profits, make sure you're not getting super greedy. 1650 upwards of 1750, that range would be a good range to work within. And don't be setting take profit targets at $20. Obviously, if the price continues to run, adjust your stop loss higher so you're in profit. But for the most part, it's not really advantageous to just try to take longs or shorts to the moon or the ground. Right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. The market we're in right now is it's not great. I think you know that by now. All right, anyways, hope that was beneficial for you. I'll have a playout chart available on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. If you're watching this now, it's up there for you. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Oh, I almost forgot. Also important, make sure you check out Bitunix. Awesome exchange. Between now and March 14th, we have a no KYC, no VPN required, of course, a deposit reward bonus for this exchange. Check it out. It's awesome stuff. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks again. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.